This marks humanity's first discovery of life on Mars. However, it ceased all activity the very next day. The US government had invested a whopping $20 billion for this little guy. The man immediately shocked it with electricity. The first attempt yielded no response, so he began to increase the power. The iron rod was easily snapped in two. Then the tentacles slowly latched onto the walls. The man was no longer able to withdraw his hands, followed by the crisp sound of bones fracturing. The man frantically pounded on the experiment chamber, still unable to stop the monster's movements. Finally, he managed to pull out his limp hands and he had already passed out. The monster also used tools to puncture the gloves, easily escaping from the experiment chamber. It slowly approached the little white mouse. The mouse instinctively bit it. The mouse instantly shriveled into a dry corpse. The Deadpool outside immediately rushed in to save people. But by this time, the monster had tripled in size. It lunged forward, clinging to Deadpool's thighs. Just as he was about to escape, Deadpool took out a sterilizing lamp. Using high heat to scorch the monster, the little creature was instantly flung away. It turned out that this monster feared high temperatures. Deadpool grabbed the experimental incinerator gun. Ferocious flames began to devour the monster, but this thing moved too fast. After a long time, Deadpool still couldn't destroy it. However, the fuel was now depleted. Deadpool quieted down to locate the monster's position. Suddenly, a tentacle coiled around Deadpool's neck. Inch by inch, it drilled into his mouth. No one knew what the monster did inside Deadpool's body. As drops of red liquid flowed from Deadpool's mouth, he ceased to breathe when the monster reappeared. It had already grown to a length of 5 meters, and the fire-triggered sprinkler system allowed it to find an escape pipeline. At this point, it had successfully invaded the space station. At this time, the government immediately dispatched a spacecraft to dock. However, this was not to rescue them. The propulsion of this spacecraft would push them into the depths of space.